Medusa, a monster cursed to turn anyone to stone with a single look. But was she truly the villain in her story, or a victim of the gods' cruelty? The truth behind her tragic tale will make you question everything you thought you knew about Greek mythology. Let's dive in. Long before she became the snake-haired Gorgon of legend, Medusa was a mortal woman of extraordinary beauty. She served as a priestess in Athena's temple, a role requiring purity and devotion. Her hair, in particular, was renowned for its beauty, flowing like rivers of gold, and her presence drew admiration from mortals and gods alike. But beauty in Greek mythology was often a double-edged sword. For Medusa, her beauty would ultimately be her undoing. It caught the attention of Poseidon, the god of the sea, who pursued her relentlessly. Tragically, Poseidon's desire led to a horrifying event in Athena's sacred temple, where he assaulted Medusa. This single act would set the stage for Medusa's transformation from a mortal admired for her beauty to the feared creature of myth. When Athena discovered what had happened in her temple, her reaction was swift and severe. But instead of punishing Poseidon, she turned her fury toward Medusa. Athena transformed Medusa's glorious hair into writhing snakes and cursed her with a gaze that turned anyone to stone. This decision has puzzled scholars and storytellers for centuries. Was Athena punishing Medusa for defiling her temple even though she had no choice? Or was this a twisted form of protection, ensuring Medusa would never again fall victim to the desires of men? Regardless of Athena's intentions, the curse isolated Medusa from the world. She fled to a distant island where her existence became one of fear, loneliness, and survival. Her curse became her shield, but also her prison. Banished to the remote island of Sarpedon, Medusa lived in solitude. Legends of her deadly gaze spread far and wide, deterring anyone from approaching her lair. Yet those who sought her out, whether driven by curiosity or greed, met a stone-cold fate. To many, Medusa became a symbol of terror, a monster lurking on the edges of civilization. But was she truly a monster? Or was she simply a survivor, using the curse imposed upon her to protect herself in a hostile world? The Greeks loved to tell tales of heroes defeating monsters, but Medusa's story raises an uncomfortable truth. Those monsters often had tragic origins rooted in suffering and injustice. Medusa's life came to a violent end at the hands of Perseus, one of Greek mythology's celebrated heroes. Perseus was sent on an impossible mission to retrieve Medusa's head as a gift for King Polydectes. Armed with gifts from the gods, including a mirrored shield, winged sandals, and a helmet of invisibility, Perseus tracked Medusa to her island. The encounter was anything but heroic. Perseus waited until Medusa was asleep, then used the reflective shield to guide his sword and sever her head. From her neck sprang Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a golden warrior, both children of Poseidon. Even in death, Medusa's story continued, a mix of wonder and tragedy. Perseus would later use her severed head as a weapon, turning his enemies to stone. Medusa's power, even in death, was exploited for the glory of others. Medusa's story didn't end with her death. Over time, she has been remembered in different ways, as a monster defeated by a hero, as a tragic victim of divine injustice, and in modern times as a symbol of feminine rage and resilience. Her image has been reinterpreted in art, literature, and culture, often reflecting the values and struggles of the time. To some, she represents the rage of women wronged by society, a figure of defiance against patriarchal power. To others, she remains a cautionary tale about the consequences of unchecked beauty and ambition. But perhaps Medusa's true legacy lies in her humanity. Behind the snakes and stone gaze was a woman who endured unimaginable suffering, her story shaped by the gods who controlled her fate. So, what do you think? Was Medusa a villain, a victim, or something much more complex? Let us know in the comments below. If this dive into her tragic tale made you see her in a new light, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who loves mythology, and hit that subscribe button for more fascinating stories. Don't miss our next deep dive into the myths that shaped the ancient world.